We have some late breaking news on Michigan football recruiting, ladies and gentlemen. I told you last week, I gave it a 4 Harbaugh head, that Zach Harrison was headed to Michigan, one of the top 5 players in the country. Plays football 20 minutes outside of Ohio Stadium where the Ohio State Buckeyes play. He is on Ohio State campus here on Wednesday afternoon, 3 days before Michigan travels to Columbus to face the Buckeyes. Zach Harrison, 5-star defensive end, out of near Columbus, Ohio. I have given my 4 Harbaugh heads to Michigan, and all the blog boys and all the Access journalists came in the last few days, after I did, of course, not humble bragging, just kind of massively bragging, and they said Zach Harrison as well. Pretty much everyone thinks he's going there, but he is on campus in Columbus right now, meeting with Urban Meyer, maybe committing, maybe he is telling them in person that he will be committing to Michigan and he'll be coming to the game wearing Michigan gear on Saturday. I don't know. So a lot of things happening on this story. Not sure what to make of it yet. Not really anything else to talk about here, but wanted to start the show with that because as we prep for the show, this was a late breaking story this afternoon. So now you know, Zach Harrison currently visiting Ohio State, 20 minutes down the road from his house. We have news on Jim Harbaugh, some big-time news on Ohio State coach Urban Meyer, and all kinds of recruiting updates. It's the Michigan Football Report Rumors Roundup coming at you right now. All right, welcome back to the Michigan Football Report. I am James Yoder, the face of Michigan football media. Whew, man, what a week it's been so far, right? We've got guarantees being given. We've got players trolling guys who ran them out of their home state. We've got 5-star, maybe 4-star, depending on what service you use. Recruits' brothers saying that their brother might be coming to Michigan. All kinds of news to get into, though. We are going to start with Jim Harbaugh and former Michigan offensive coordinator Tim Drevno. So we showed you a couple days ago how Giles Jackson got a text from Tim Drevno, Michigan's former offensive coordinator, now O-line and running backs coach at USC. Kind of seeming desperate. The kids are calling it kind of thirsty. Is that the right word, Mitchell Renz? Lana, I'm giving a thumbs up. I'm an older guy in my mid-30s now. These kids are keeping me young here at Chat Sports. Looking a little thirsty, looking a little desperate, you know, trying to beg for the 2:30 U up call, texting him, and basically he said, are you in, Giles Jackson? We're coming to USC, yada, yada. He put it out. He totally put him on blast on his Snapchat account, Jackson did. And people are saying, you shouldn't do that. Keep those things private. But Jim Harbaugh does not believe so. So I'm giving this 4 Harbaugh heads. Harbaugh loves recruits like Giles Jackson, going at trolling his best friend, former best friend, the guy he made leave the program, Tim Drevno. Check out this screenshot from Giles Jackson on Instagram. This is what he put on his Instagram story. Jim Harbaugh, head honcho. We've got the highly well-designed blue arrow that I put on there on PowerPoint pointing to it. Loved your response, and I love what he calls him. Not to Drevno, not to anything, to that USC coach. This is a guy who coached with Harbaugh for 13 of the last 14 seasons, something like that, and now is the O-line running backs coach at USC. Giles Jackson completely put Tim Drevno on blast. Drevno looking kind of like a Brady Hoke. I don't know if you remember Brady Hoke texting the Tennessee athletic director in all caps that he really wanted to be the coach. That's kind of what Tim Drevno is looking like. Harbaugh, he loves it when you put that USC coach on blast. All right, KARAN Higdon, the guarantee, kind of a weak, the national media is kind of, banging on KARAN because he kind of said it very soft-spoken. He didn't say it like, I guarantee we're going to win, we're going to beat Ohio State. He kind of said, yeah, we're going to beat Ohio State. Now, Mike Weber, former longtime Michigan football commit, that was, some people say, driven away from Michigan, from his Michigan commitment, his home state, by the commitment of KARAN Higdon to Michigan in the 2015 recruiting cycle. Did he troll KARAN Higdon? You might have seen this one. This isn't breaking news or anything. It's about a day and a half old, but he tweeted out this thing with the SpongeBob SquarePants, which I guess the kids are calling it a meme these days. I never watched the show. Don't really necessarily understand. I'm aging myself. I'm sounding like an old fuddy-duddy here. But he's kind of, Lena, what is it? What are they doing with this SpongeBob thing here? And I don't know what this is. I guess it means that he's supposed to put his hands out like he's a huffing and puffing, and with the the caps in the lowercase. It's kind of like, I guarantee a win. I guarantee a win. And that is what Mike Weber is saying. But does Mike Weber, fellow 2015 recruit, he himself was a redshirt junior, fourth-year player, has 1 year left at Ohio State, his 5th year next season. KARAN Higdon, Weber was committed to Ohio State, to Michigan. KARAN Higdon was committed to Purdue when Jim Harbaugh got the job. And where are they now? KARAN Higdon expressed interest in Michigan, and Mike Weber didn't want to stick around his commitment to Brady Hoke when Jim Harbaugh came in. He headed south, got the starting job as a redshirt freshman in 2016, but now his redshirt junior, he is the backup there. You see this, who is winning the battle of the guarantees and the throwing shade on Instagram, on Twitter. That is Mike Weber, KARAN Higdon. Who is winning the battle of the stats? 1,100 yards, 10 touchdowns for Higdon to only 700 yards and 4 touchdowns, basically twice the carries for Higdon too for Mike Weber. So I think KARAN Higdon got the better of the deal, and I think Michigan got the better of the running backs with Higdon making Weber go south. If you haven't watched the show before, I welcome you to the #1 Michigan football show on planet Earth, the Michigan Football Report with James Yoder, the Harbaugh Head rumor-o-meter. Want to walk you through, tell you what it means. If it's 0 Harbaugh heads, totally false. Fake news. 1 Harbaugh head means the small shred of truth. 2 Harbaugh heads means people are talking. 50-50 may happen, may not. 3 Harbaugh heads means it's pretty likely. If we give it the 4 Harbaugh heads, that means it's F-A-C-K, fact. That's how Jim Harbaugh spells it. That is how we spell it here at Chat Sports. The Michigan Football Report is presented by Reveal Suits. And by the way, you people complain about the ads in the comments, just deal with it. You listen to WTKA and Sam Webster, it's 37 minutes ads per hour. We're doing about 4 an episode, okay? We're dealing with it, and it's awesome ads. We're giving you away free jerseys, $100 off Reveal Suits, info@revealsuits.com. You walk in to work next Monday wearing this coat after Michigan beats Ohio State with some Buckeyes in the room with you. You will own the room. You'll get whatever you want for the rest of your career because people will think you are the ultimate alpha male, alpha female, whatever it is. Info@Reveal Suits. Hit them now. You lock in the $100 discount when you can buy these bad boys. They are coming out in limited release in just a matter of days. We're also presented by Mizzen & Main, providing me my dress shirts. I don't have to go shopping anymore. I got these Mizzen & Main's Performance Fabrics dress shirts. Comfortable.af as their website, because as they're saying now, these shirts are comfortable as F. Let's keep it rolling with the Michigan football rumors. Is Urban Meyer done after 2018? Past behavior should indicate future behavior, whatever that saying is. And if you read the tea leaves, you might not think that Jim Harbaugh will be here because he's only been at coaching spots for 4 years. This is his 4th year at Michigan. Urban Meyer, 6 years at Florida, 2 at Utah, 2 at Bowling Green. This is now his 7th year at Ohio State, having heart attacks and keeling over on the sidelines basically every time the team is on defense. Colin Cowherd, probably the top sports radio guy in the country, just earlier in the week had to say this about Urban Meyer's future at Ohio State. Take a listen.
Urban Meyer. Here we go. 2 separate sources told me this weekend Urban Meyer is done after this year. He's going to retire from football. There's a fissure between the administration there and Urban Meyer. He doesn't always feel they've had his back. He's not going to admit this. He's going to say this is ridiculous. I don't know what you're talking about. But you saw him on the sideline this weekend. Some people, he does not look good. Some people are saying he's acting. I don't think he is. This is a guy that takes every loss personal. I've been told by 2 people that I trust way up the food chain, Urban Meyer, after this year, could be after Michigan, after the Big Ten championship, after maybe they get in, they play a huge bowl, whenever it is, this is.
The key to the internet, ladies and gentlemen, that put on the Cowherd show, but he got a lot more action on it on Facebook and on his Twitter account. The key to the internet, if you say source next to anything, it automatically makes it true, most likely. I could say source, the best looking guy in the world. Hey, a source confirms it. Urban Meyer, is he gone? Maybe the best college football coach with Nick Saban. Those 2 guys have dominated college football for the past 12, 15 years. Urban Meyer, 3 national titles, 6, 2008, 2014 at 2 different schools, has had immediate success everywhere he has gone. 3 national titles plus 2 undefeated seasons that he didn't win a national title. The year Utah and then the year Ohio State was on probation. Urban Meyer, is he done? I'm only going to 2 Harbaugh heads, but there is so much buzz out there right now that Urban Meyer could be gone. Could this be his last game at Ohio Stadium this Saturday. All right, do you want to go to the game on Saturday? You have less than 2 days. I am bombarded with DMs, some of you taking action, some just asking questions, but I'm getting through all of them tonight. I'm going to hit you back, tell you you're in the contest, and if you refer somebody, make sure they mention your name in the DM, your Twitter handle. That gets you twice as many entries, 2 times to win these jerseys or these tickets. You get 120% deposit bonus when you sign up and deposit with BetDSI. A Michigan football jersey. Everybody gets one. This is insane. Plus, you have the opportunity, 1 in 75 chance, only 75 entries can be made till we give away a pair of Michigan football tickets Saturday against Ohio State. I am announcing them Friday at 2 p.m. chatsports.com/bet. Promo code GOBLUE. Deposit with BetDSI, and then check me out on Twitter on Friday at 2 p.m. and you will see who wins those tickets. It could be you. Could you be sitting with me? Could we be drinking all day? I'm buying the beers. Believe me, I'm buying them. All right, let's keep it going with the Michigan football rumors. We've got our next rumor up, Matt Campbell in Columbus. This one is just comical. It is very fake news. I saw this on it was on a Michigan or Ohio State message board that then somebody linked to me, then articulated all over the web, comment sections, Twitter, Facebook groups, etc. That Iowa State head coach Matt Campbell, who's got a losing record, 17-18 at Iowa State, was literally traveling midweek when they have a game this week to Columbus and negotiate a contract with Ohio State. That is complete fake news. That is literally the epitome of someone making something up on the internet to get a reaction from people. So if you see this one out there, no chance in hell that Matt Campbell was in Columbus at the airport in the last couple days. He is from the state of Ohio. He did go to Mount Union, D3 Power there, and he did coach at the University of Toledo, where James Yoder, the man himself, went to school. But there's no way he was in Columbus this week. He could become the coach. Definitely could be. He coached at Bowling Green under Urban Meyer's assistant who took over for him back in 2003. But there's no way in hell he was at the Columbus airport negotiating a contract this week. All right, continuing the coaching carousel. A lot of news, a lot of rumors out there. Colin Cowherd in that video, he kind of went on to say Brian Kelly is now shopping himself for the NFL, and the NFL teams will be very receptive because of what he's done with Notre Dame on there. Look, I don't have a good source in this. I don't really care to have a good source in this, although I do think Brian Kelly is, he surprises you when you least expect it with a 11-0 season, probably going to go 12-0 versus USC, make the college football playoff. Could this be the year he makes the jump? He said in the past, Notre Dame is not the kind of job because of the pressure you're under and the national scrutiny that you do for 20 years. He's 57 years old. He's made the national title game one time, his 9th season at Notre Dame, 3-3 in bowl games. He's previously coached, of course, at Cincinnati, Central Michigan, and Grand Valley State University there in the great state of Michigan. Really good record overall, 230-90-2, but could he be going to the NFL after this season? People are talking to Harbaugh Head. How about James Franklin, Penn State's coach? Could he be moving on? Could he go? And then our boy Joe Moorhead at Mississippi State, who we don't like, he comes up and takes the Penn State coaching job. That's out there. I'm only giving it one Harbaugh Head for a couple reasons. One, I think Penn State and USC are kind of lateral jobs at this point. I mean, Penn State is, firmed up their spot as kind of the 3rd or 4th best program in the Big Ten, behind, I think, Ohio State and Michigan. I'll still give Ohio State the #1 billing until, Michigan beats them a few years in a row. Penn State, Wisconsin kind of tied for 3. USC has had too many down years recently, I think, to be up there. I don't even think they're the #1 team in the Pac-12 anymore. I think you can make a case for Oregon, you can make a case for Stanford, you can make a case for Washington over USC if you think about the last 6 or 7 years. So I don't think he would take a lateral move to USC. I don't think there's any reason to. I also think Penn State could pay as much or more than USC, and I also think that, stupidly, that USC is going to keep their coach Clay Helton. It seems like the tea leaves are trending that way, that Clay Helton is going to get a 5th or maybe 6th year, whatever it is, at USC. He has not been as successful as you would expect with those kind of resources. Franklin was asked about the USC job at his press conference, and here is what he had to say.
Like with Brett?
Yeah, first of all, I guess it's that time of year where all this stuff happens. It's that time of year. It's the crazy, mad time of year where these types of things happen. So as you guys know, like always, we're focused on Maryland completely, 100%. I don't even think it's fair or right to even be talking about that job, from everything I understand about it. But we're completely focused on,
There he is, James Franklin, what's his record there at Penn State? He's 1-4 against Michigan, 1-4 against Ohio State, like 2-3, 1-4 against Michigan State. He's had some successful years. 2016, 2017, had a good run with Saquon Barkley, but I don't think he's going to take that job. Will Michigan beat Ohio State? Watching on Facebook Live, hit the emoji, hit the like button, and just tap it 100 times. Make sure people know if Michigan's going to beat Ohio State. If you don't think they're going to do it, hit the angry face so we know. Those reactions will fly across the screen. If you're watching on Twitter, if you're watching on the Chat Sports YouTube, go ahead and comment below. Will Michigan beat Ohio State? Yes or no? I need to know from the people because I'm going to put my money on BetDSI. I'm not going to make a sucker bet. I'm only going to bet on Michigan if everyone thinks they're going to win. So go ahead and let me know. All right. Ohio State has been known this season for having one of the best offenses in the country. For a long time, they were up there in the top 2 or 3 in scoring and yards. But did they run up the score on teams like Oregon State and some TCU and whatever other school they played in the non-conference? Yeah, I think they did because Michigan and Ohio State have scored the exact amount of points in Big Ten play. So I'm giving it 3 Harbaugh heads. I don't necessarily think Michigan's as explosive as Ohio State is, but the stats tell a different story. I want to kind of show you guys here coming up. Michigan, Ohio State, through 8 Big Ten games so far this year, Michigan being 8-0, Ohio State 7-1, have scored the exact same amount of points, 292, in those 8 Big Ten games, which is awesome, right? That's really good. Let's do quick math. 8 times 4 is 32. It's almost 40 points a game, 38 points a game, something like that. But Michigan's given up half the points, only 102 points, basically what the NFL Monday Night Football game did the other night. That's what Michigan's given up in 8 total Big Ten games. Shea Patterson leading that offense, 66% completion, is 1% higher than the highest in Michigan football history, which Jim Harbaugh currently holds a 65% completion. He is also getting it done on the ground with 255 yards total, 363 gained on the ground. He had about 100 negative from sacks and 2 touchdowns. DWAYNE Haskins, though, he's getting it done, here on the ground, 56 there, not really getting it done on the ground, I'm sorry. He looked like a running quarterback in that Ohio State-Michigan game last year, but only has 93 yards rushing on the year. Does have 4 touchdowns, 3 coming against Maryland. 70% completion, basically, 3,685 yards, 36 touchdowns. He is going to own most of the Big Ten records this year for yards and touchdowns and all that good stuff. He's having an all-time year, but it is at the expense of the running game, and certainly that defense is giving him a lot of opportunities because they're always trying to outscore teams. And that is the story with the Michigan-Ohio State offense. We're in Michigan-Ohio State week, and this is the question that I am racking my brain on because I remember the Desmond Howard one, and I was in the building for the Charles Woodson one. My boy Charles Woodson, I hugged him after the game as a lad in high school or something like that when Michigan won 97. But who had the more memorable punt? Desmond Howard, Heisman Trophy winner, 1991, the great Keith Jackson call, "Hello, Heisman," and he posed for the Heisman afterwards. Iconic play. Or Charles Woodson, not nearly known as good of a punt returner, and really didn't do a good job in punt returning that year, but getting it done when it counted, number 1 Michigan versus number 4 Ohio State in 97, when the game was this close, and Woodson taking one to the house. And he told me a couple years ago when we had him on a Chat Sports panel that he was about to pose the Heisman, but his teammate drug him down from behind. Let me know, Desmond, Woodson, whose punt return is more memorable to you? I want to say Woodson because it's more about me personally, but nothing is like that Heisman pose. That's an all-timer thing. So I'm going to let you guys decide. Comment below, Facebook, YouTube, and Chat Sports Twitter. I guess my Twitter, right? We're running on my Twitter right now. All right, Michigan facing Ohio State on Saturday noon. They are 4.5-point favorites. I think it's going to pop up to 5.5, maybe 6 by game time because the pro money is coming in on Michigan. They hammered the 2.5 points. They hammered the 3. They think Michigan's going to win by a touchdown or more, and as such, they're continuing to bet it, and the sports books are adjusting the line because they want the public, the schmucks, to bet on Ohio State getting more points. And if you want to bet in this game, if you want to bet on bowl season, which is just amazing because you're sitting around drinking beer with your family during Christmas, betting on football games, and you want an opportunity to go to the Michigan-Ohio State game. I'm only taking 75 entries. We've got about a dozen or so left we can take. Sign up and deposit with BetDSI. DM me when you're done. I'm going to send you a Michigan maize jersey and give you more ways to win, like referrals or playing in another game with me this week. So you go to chatsports.com/bet, use that promo code GOBLUE. You'll get the jersey. You're going to get a 120% deposit bonus, and you have a 1 in 75 chance to win tickets. We're going to give them away 2 p.m. Tuesday. 2 p.m. Tuesday, 2 p.m. on Friday. I'm going to give them away on my Twitter at James T. Yoder. So keep an eye out for that. Get going with BetDSI. Quit making me do commercials for them. Just start betting with them, and you will be hooked up with all of those items. So let's keep it going on the rumors roundup. Is Michigan already division champs, Eastern Division champs in the Big Ten? Jim Harbaugh has never finished better than third in the division. Well, FACK on this one, and this is pretty obvious, but it's kind of weird that the Big Ten literally sent out a media alert about it in the last couple of days. Michigan has already clinched, because of the Big Ten rules, that value head-to-head as far as who gets the tiebreaker, but all they value is record for who wins the division. So Michigan, even if they lost to Ohio State, would still be Big Ten East champs. Them and Ohio State would be co-champs, and Ohio State wins the tiebreaker. So congrats to Michigan, congrats to Jim Harbaugh. You have won your first Big Ten division championship. Congrats, but it's not going to mean anything. If Michigan loses to Ohio State, you can just take that crumpled up and throw it in the trash, because that'll be worth. No one will give a rat's butt on that division champion. We've got Tom Brady, legendary NFL quarterback, 2-year starter at Michigan. He's predicting a Michigan win. 4 Harbaugh heads on this one. FACK. He was on his weekly radio show, WEEI, in Boston just earlier this week, and they asked him about the game, Michigan-Ohio State. And I feel for Brady, because most of the time, basically when he left, he had another year with Drew Henson the year after that, and Brady was basically kind of one of the last quarterbacks that got it done. He was the quarterback of the '99 team, Drew Henson in 2000, and then it's just Navarro in 2003 and Denard Robinson in 2011. Here's what Brady said. Basically, hey, look, I'm making bets with my teammates on Michigan-Ohio State games. I've lost too many of those, too many to Michigan State. This is our year, baby. Going down to the horseshoe. He thinks we're going to kick their butt. We've got a great defense. So Tom Brady, given the 4 Harbaugh heads, he's predicting the W on his radio show. All right, let's get into some recruiting. This is the brother of a 4-star, and by some, I don't know, like ESPN or somebody has this guy rated really low, but 24/7 on theirs, they have him as a 5-star, but the composite says 4-star. It's his younger brother, a 2021 linebacker, basically saying he wants him to come to Michigan. He sees the two of them playing together in Michigan. I'm giving it 4 Harbaugh heads, FACK. If you saw the show on Monday, you will know the man we're talking about, George Karlaftis. His younger brother is a 2021 linebacker, obviously out of the same high school in West Lafayette, Indiana. Karlaftis, currently committed to Purdue, but if their coach Brian Brown moves on, takes another job, his recruitment can get very heavy. His brother basically says, yeah, I think about lining up on the same defensive line at Michigan pretty often. It seems like they're going to go to the same school 2 years apart. Could Yanni Karlaftis convince his brother to head to Ann Arbor? If Brian Brown gets that job, the Michigan recruiting class this year could get a whole lot more interesting, with George Karlaftis maybe making the move over to Ann Arbor. All right, do we have a 4-star linebacker down to Michigan and Ohio State? I'm giving it 3 Harbaugh heads. It seems like everybody who has reported on this guy, I don't get into some of these guys. If something like this happens, I'm not the one to jump on it and call the guy. I just kind of see what others are saying. Tommy Elchenberg, out of St. Ignatius High School in Cleveland, Ohio, has decommitted from Boston College. He's decided to open up his recruitment. He is a top 400 player in the country, 4-star linebacker out of the state of Ohio, 2019. Looks like he's going to decide between Ohio State and Michigan. Michigan could definitely use him. I watched his film. He reminds me of Ben Mason as a linebacker when Mason played linebacker in high school. Just a battering ram of a guy. So keep an eye out. Tommy Eichenberg out of St. Ignatius High School in Cleveland could be a part of the 2019 Michigan football recruiting class. All right, Michigan football is potentially the landing spot for a receiver, which they have not had the opportunity. They haven't got really too many since that 4-person wide receiver class of 2017. But they're in the top 5 for Kyle Ford, 5-star. We saw that on Monday. And now we've got another player, Jalen Ellis, put out on Twitter. He is already committed to another school. It's not gonna, we don't talk about another school, but he's committed elsewhere. Basically put this on, I believe he's committed to Baylor, put this on his Twitter just in the last 36 hours. He basically said the winningest, him posting and flexing with a Michigan football uniform on, wearing his number 4 there. And people are saying that have talked to him, people that are following this recruitment a little closer than I have, that look for this kid to be part of the 2019 Michigan football recruiting class. Only 3-star, but but I have told he is a burner, a legit 4.35, 4.4 player, a kind of guy like Ronnie Bell who's underappreciated but is an absolute burner, could do some damage in Michigan football in the offense under Jim Harbaugh. All right, we are wrapping this show up. Michigan football rumors roundup. The winner of those tickets is going to be announced Friday at 2 p.m. Get going, bet DSI today. Thursday, Thanksgiving morning, we've got our keys to the game. I've got 3 awesome guests, Don Thomas, Rob Schaefer, and Marquise Davis joining me on that. And then on Friday, we're doing 5 shows this week, ladies and gentlemen. I love it. I love it. I'm coming for you, Ohio State. 5 shows this week. I'm putting my work in to kick some Buckeye ass. We'll be back on Friday afternoon for another show. And then on Twitter, 2 o'clock, we're going to announce the winner of the Ohio State-Michigan football tickets. Go Blue!